This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great to have you joining me here in these online lessons. In this video, I'm going to go over some movable shape voicings that we can use for playing minor 6 chords on the guitar. In the last few videos, we've been working on 6 chords on the guitar. We started off by learning some great first position or open position shapes that work, and now we're working on these movable shapes. In the last video, we worked with major 6 chords, and now we're going to work with minor 6 chords. So, after I've gone over this, of course, we'll jam together on some chord progressions so you can work on mastering these chord shapes along with other ones that we've learned recently, and that'll be right along with bass and drums accompaniment, which makes it super fun. This video accompanies lesson 23 from my Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2 method book. In the book, we're going to start on page 160 as we work on learning these chord shapes, and then we'll be on some of the other pages found throughout lesson 23 as we're playing the chord progressions. Alright, let's take a look at these shapes. So, these work the same as bar chords. I've got the root note, one with that root note on the 6th string, one with that root note on the 5th string. Wherever we position that note along the fretboard, that's the version of the chord that we're playing. So if I stick this on a B flat, we're playing a B flat 6 chord. If I stick this on an E, we're playing an E6 chord. That's how that works, which should be familiar to you because we've done a lot with movable shapes at this point. So we'll start off by taking a look at this one. So, we've got the middle finger playing the root. We kind of have to get used to that a little bit. And then our index finger is just 2 strings higher, 1 fret lower. And then our ring finger plays across the top 3 strings at the same fret as our root. I'm going to demonstrate this on C. So I got the C at the 8th fret on the guitar, and so I get a nice C minor 6 there. Now, with this one on the board, I put this in parentheses a little bit here because we don't have to play that string. It just doubles up the root. Sometimes we don't like that sound, and I will just play the other 4 notes. But the ring finger is probably still going to play it a little bit. It can lift off and kind of mute it, though, if you'd like it to. So we don't have to strum that one. We can just strum up until that 2nd string, or we can grab that top note as well. But that's the 6th string form, so that's the one with the root on the 6th string. Let's take a look at the one with the root on the 5th string. This one's a little bit tricky to finger, though not as physically demanding as playing the major 6 chord. So, with this one we got the middle and index fingers again, and then we got the ring finger 1 fret higher than the root, and the pinky 1 fret higher yet, so 2 frets higher than the root. Note that these 2 skip over a string, as do these 2. So if I demonstrate this on F, which is at the 8th fret on the 5th string, I've got my F minor 6 there. I'm going to use my index finger to just lightly touch that top string, so if I ring it, if I strum it, it doesn't ring. Now, a great thing to do, of course, as you get comfortable with these, and I used to do this a lot in grad school, just go back and forth, even if I was watching a movie or something, just tired after a long week's work, I would just actually finger these while I was watching that movie. Doesn't work very well now for me, but when you got family living with you, they don't necessarily appreciate that during the movie. But when I was living on my own, all by myself, not sharing the house with anyone, it didn't matter. But that was something that I used to do. But just going back and forth, working on finding that can be great. These can be tricky to find. Another great thing to do, of course, is to work your way around that circle of 4. So I would do that with the C and the F there. Then I go down 2 frets for B flat and E flat. We've done this sort of thing a lot with other chords, so I'm not really explaining it other than to say down 2 frets for A flat and D flat. Then we can slide up for G flat. Then we'd have the B and the E, and the A and the D, and then the G and the C. And that is the chord progression that number 2 uses, which is the first one that we're going to play, and it's found there on page 161. So as we're playing these chord progressions, I'm going to use either a do-dot strumming pattern, I'm just going to keep it simple, or I'll use the 4 to the bar. We've worked on this sort of thing before. You can see these strumming patterns on page 92, as well as some others that work for swing. Any of that sort of thing will work just great. As you're working on a new voicing, you want to keep it really simple in the strumming hand so you can focus on the fingering hand, trying to get these chords right. So something nice and easy, even if you're just strumming long notes, that works as well. Now, in the chord progressions, we're going to come across some where we may be playing major 6 voicings. So we learned that in the last video. If you haven't played those before, you're going to want to check out that video, or just take a look at the diagrams on page 159. We're also going to run into 7th chords from time to time, which we learned with lesson 22. So in lesson 22, you'll see those diagrams that'll help you know how to play those 7th chords if you've forgotten how to play those. It's going to be super fun. I'm just going to start somewhere in the general center of the fretboard and try and shift as little as possible until I've painted myself into a corner going too high or too low, and then I will jump back into sort of a nice area. But you can just choose the voicing that you want to, whether it be the 6th string form or 5th string form that seems to work best. There may be occasions where you choose one different from the one I'm using, and that is okay, because it doesn't matter which voicing you're using as we read these chord symbols. It just matters that we are playing with the 5th string or the 6th string, a chord voicing that works for that chord symbol. So it's going to be fun. Each one of these is going to happen twice, first at a slower tempo and then at a faster tempo. The number of the chord progression will show up here on the board, but we are going to do numbers 2, number 21, number 22, and number 4. Then we'll do number 16 and 24. So we got quite a few opportunities for you to practice right along with me on these chord progressions. So again, 2, then 21, then 22, then number 4, 16, and 24. And those numbers will show up here on the board. It'll happen first at a slower tempo and then a faster tempo. All right, it's going to be fun. Let's go ahead and play these. Okay, awesome. In the next video, we're just going to work on a bunch more chord progressions that will allow us to practice these chords that we've been learning. So it's going to be super great. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.